just gone P8 there ahead of Horatio. Horatio will line up in 9th place ahead of Mr. Basil. In fact, no, he won't, because Derby Bay's just gone P7. So Red has to be 9th, Horatio 10th. Mr. Basil will line up in 11th place with Thibaut Boy down in P12, not where he wants to be for sure. And well, we're going to read out the rest of the order. Clarky Boy 13th ahead of Racky 14th, and Polish My Balls in P15, followed by DJ Phil 16th, and Daisy Thingy what's it in 17th place. So that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for the qualifying session here at Monaco. Round 5 of the season here for Motives F1 League here on a Friday night. Joe taking pole ahead of Eldrick Avis. Pretty close here between the two of them, less than 2/10. So Joam's certainly not going to have it easy over the course of this race. I'm sure we're going to see these two locking horns, but Joam taking a pivotal pole position here. He sits 14 points adrift in the championship, but that's going to give him a little bit of confidence going into this one. Big Weir lining up in 3rd place with Gamefly 4th, followed by Bennett in 5th place, then A. Thompson 6th, Jose 7th, Red Nass will line up in 9th place ahead of Horatio 10th, Mr. Basil in 11th place, Thibaut Boy 12th, followed by Clarky Boy in 13th place, Racky in 14th. Oh, Emo guy did tell me how to scroll down. Ah, yeah, I remember now.
Continuing to lead, so just Jose having little looks everywhere.
But anyway, we'll be back very shortly, guys, for the race. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
This is from Unorthodox. Pit window, we reckon, is open, so the game reckons that these guys need to make one more pit stop for a fresh set of inters. As we see just Joseph around a little to the inside. Dan tries to close the door, squeezes up against the pit wall. It goes late on the brakes as Dan. Somehow he's going to hold on to that position. Wow! Unbelievable racing that was from Unorthodox. Just Jose had the inside line. Dan went so late on the brakes and managed to hold it around the outside, and just Jose wasn't able to cling onto the position. That is incredible racing there from Unorthodox. Really got his elbows massively there in that little battle. But just Jose still not able to get ahead of Dan. But is he going to be able to do it now? He's now at the outside. Dan's going to try and throw one back at the inside. Is he is? Oh, look at that. He's gone deep into the corner though. And I think just Jose's got that move done. He has. Just Jose swoops round into the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Dan can fight it no more. He put up a valiant effort. What the hell? What the fuck? What the fuck has happened here? What the fuck has happened here? What the fuck is going on? How the fuck has this happened? Huh? What the fuck has happened here? What in holy fucking hell has happened here? How the fuck has this happened? What the... Okay, this is really weird. I am so freaked. I'm creeped out as fuck in a minute. I am struggling to comprehend what's just happened here. That is mad. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck? Huh? How? How has this happened? What? Who the fuck's on our restream? How? Oh, mate. What the fuck? How? I'm sorry, but that's just mad. Somebody's... What? Oh, this is mad. Here we are anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're lining up on the grid here, about to go racing here for the Monaco Grand Prix here at Motive Racing on the Codemasters Formula 1 game.
and it's lights out and away we go. And looks as though Joram gets a slightly bogged down start, and Aldrich Gavis is going to be around the outside of Sandoval up into the lead of the race. Great start there from Aldrich Gavis. You see the background there, Joram's got Big Weird just behind him. Bennett, the game for life, there's Donovan Redknapp. A. Thompson gets ahead of Redknapp up towards Casino Square, up into 7th place. You've got Mr. Basil, Emo Guy, Devo Boy, Clarky Boy, there's Daisy in 13th place, made a good start. Horatio, Polish My Balls, Raki and DJ Phil at the back, but we're all coming down through this first sector here as we now can see Redknapp having a look down the inside. Sorry, A. Thompson even having a look down the inside of Derby. No, it was Redknapp looking down the inside of A. Thompson. Couldn't get it done. Down towards the Lowe's hairpin, we can see there is a Alpha Tauri trying to move down the inside of the Ferrari. Oh, that's Emo Guy on Clarky Boys. We can see an Alpine there, out of shape. Redknapp's getting all over the place, and he's lost out a few positions there. Aldrich Gavis though leading ahead of Joram, coming down towards the Nouvelle Chicane for the first time in this race. Big We're in third ahead of Bennett. There's Game for Life, Derby Bay. There's A. Thompson there in 7th place ahead of Devo Boy. Mr. Basil in 9th ahead of Emo Guy. Oh, look at that. Daisy sends it down the inside there on Emo Guy. And Emo Guy gets a little bit of tap in the rear there from Clarky Boy. Redknapp there in 13th ahead of Polish My Balls. Raki, DJ Phil, Horatio rounding at the back of the field. He looks like he's had a nightmare of a start to this race. But Aldrich Gavis has got Joram looking down his inside and towards Anthony Noakes. Side by side, and bit of contact there. And that's going to allow Big Weir now down the outside. 3 wide down to Monaco, pit straight here as we've got Joram down the inside of Sandoval. But Aldrich Gavis late on the brakes, holding it around the outside, and even hold on to that lead there just about. Joram though with a better exit out of the corner. Oh, Joram and Aldrich Gavis come together there, and Aldrich Gavis has dropped a few positions there. He's down to P5 in this race. Joram continues on his way. Big Weir there in 2nd place. Bennett up into 3rd. Game for Life, Aldrich Gavis. I'll tell you what, there was a little bit of push there between those drivers as Aldrich Gavis down to P5 here on this 2nd lap of the race. Hopefully our stream hasn't restarted and changed names here. Let me just double check, make sure it hasn't, because for some reason it did earlier on. No, it hasn't yet, but here we are anyway. Joram currently leading this race as he's coming under the tunnel here for the 2nd time in this race, down towards the Nouvelle Chicane. There's Big Weir in 2nd, followed by Bennett. Game for Life, Aldrich Gavis in 5th place. There's Derby Bay running in 6th place ahead of Themo Boy, Mr. Basil, Daisy, Polish My Balls there in P10, just behind, a long way behind actually. Behind them you've got Raki, Clarky Boy all over the back of Raki here, looking to try and get himself into 11th place if he can. Having a look into the Nouvelle Chicane, a little bit too far back. Redknapp there in 13th, DJ Phil, Emo Guy, A. Thompson a long way back, Horatio likewise. And what's going on here with Thivo Boy? He's dropped a few positions there down to 9th place. Didn't really see what happened there, but back to the front. Joram has got the lead of the race, not by much. He's got a very end lead at the moment here to Big Weir, but Aldrich Gavis with that little bit of contact there up this particular section of the track with Joram on the previous lap, down in 4th place behind Bennett LCFC, his teammate at the moment. Redknapp's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but at the moment we've got Joram currently just ahead of Big Weir. We're going to be watching this battle as it unfolds here for the lead of the race here on lap 3 of 39. Drama filled opening to this race, and I want to apologise to anybody who experienced the stream ending and switching name. I don't even know why. I don't know, it's so weird, right? The stream literally like duplicated an old stream from like a year ago, and it was like a carbon copy of that stream in every way. And it was like the same description, same name as a touring car stream from Project Cars 2 last year. Literally, I have no idea. I am so stumped right now. But anyway, we've got Joram currently out in front, 7/10 of a second. This is gap to Big Weir. It's a bit less than that now as we see Daisy up into 6th place. This man here, on his debut on a Friday night here at Motive, has absolutely carved through the field like butter tonight. Daisy number 1 fan, Daisy Bow number 1 fan, that's it, has made his way from 17th on the grid up into 6th place. He's made up 11 places in the opening couple of laps. Incredible stuff as we go back to the front, because Big Weir's now got the lead. Big Weir's got ahead of Joram up into the lead, so these two continuing to trade positions here. We've got Game for Life in the pits here at the end of lap 3. I assume that's probably for a front wing. One minor miracle that we've had so far in this is that we have not had a single safety car so far. I don't want to touch wood, or I don't want to tempt fate, but at this point this is absolutely unbelievable. No safety cars so far. I've got to say, guys, keep it up, keep this level of driving up, because this is absolutely fantastic. But nonetheless, we can see there A. Thompson getting ahead of Thivo Boy up into 12, and in fact Thivo Boy ahead of DJ Phil there. Double wave goes through sector 2. Could be anything, let's be honest. Oh, it's this. Daisy and Derby Bay currently battling it out as he looks around the outside to back, and Daisy there balls to the wall as he manages to go around the outside of Double Bay up into 5th place. Incredible stuff there from Daisy Bow, number 1 fan. Absolutely brilliant driving there. Getting a move done around the outside of Tabak is no mean feat as Joram into the pits here at the end of lap 4 for a fresh set of what I would assume would be hards. Yes, it is. So Joram, one stopping clearly, he's putting a new front wing on and off and away he goes. 34 laps on the hards. I don't think he's going to be able to make that work. He'll be able to put the soft on probably for the final stint though, as long as he keeps these in good nick over the course of the next few laps. But it's Big Weir currently leading the race and he's looking very good at the moment. Big Weir came close to taking his first win here at Motive in the opening round of the season actually at Bahrain. Aldrich Avist ended up winning that race. He hunted him down in the final few laps and passed him with a couple of laps left to go. And at this point Big Weir currently looking solid here in this one. He's got a good gap back to Bennett. He's putting the gap out as well. He's putting away from Aldrich Avist in 3rd place. So that was a hiccup. But at this point it's certainly looking like Big Weir is in a good position to take a win. There's still early doors yet. We're 5 laps in to a 39 lap race. As we can see, Daisy is down the inside of Aldrich Avist and Aldrich Avist has lost it. Oh, Aldrich Avist is round there coming to the Nouvelle chicane. His race goes from bad to worse here. He's down to 6th place here in this race. He's a long way off for the lead now, and Aldrich Avist just cannot seem to catch a break in this Monaco Grand Prix here at Motive on a Friday night on the Commentators 4 log on the PlayStation 4 and 5. As we can see, Big Weir fastest lap of the race at 1 minute 13.5, continuing to pull that gap out to Bennett at this point. You've got Daisy Bow there in 3rd place, 10 seconds off of the lead, continuing to make his way through the field. I don't know if it could be a girl actually, to be honest, Daisy, but I don't know. I'm just going to say they because I don't want to assume their gender now. But Daisy Bow nonetheless, P6 here in this race, has got a second back to Derby at this point. You've got Mr. Basil there in 5th place. He's got a couple of seconds back to Aldrich Avist and a bit of a gap back to Polish My Balls there, running in 7th place. He's got Joram now looking around his outside of Sandoval. Can Joram make this stick here? Onto the power he goes as now Polish My Balls is going to try and hold it on the inside, but Joram breezes past him up the hill and up into 7th place, having already made his pit stop here. And Polish My Balls just gets a little bit of understeer up the top of the hill into the wall, but nothing doing there. But the gap at the front continuing to rise between Big Weir and Bennett. Daisy now is in 3rd place, or they is in 3rd place. It's now 4 seconds between Bennett and Daisy, but the gap between the leader and Daisy kind of staying around the same, kind of staying at around 10 seconds. But Daisy looking like they might be closing a little bit on Bennett at this point. Not sure. We'll have to keep an eye on that as it unfolds. But at this point, Big Weir looking very, very good to potentially take his first win here at Motive. As we've got double wave yellows through sector 2. Not sure why, but we're going to watch this battle here between Raki and Game for Life down towards the Nouvelle chicane as Raki goes a little bit deep into the corner. Game for Life will be looking to try and get a cut back here up towards Tabak. Not really in a position to make anything happen there. In the background of this, you've got A. Thompson and Debo Boy waiting in the wings, hoping to pounce. Oh, A. Thompson there a little bit out of shape there coming through Tabak, but Debo Boy can't do anything to try and punish him, try and put him on the spot there at the moment. He's going to have to wait and hope that he makes another mistake here as he's giving a bit of a tap in the rear there coming through Rascal. Oh no, and A. Thompson's around there on the exit of Raskas, and he's going to be stuck in the wall there. He's going to have to reverse that a little bit, get that out of the wall there. A. Thompson having a nightmare as they had a bit of contact there with Thebo Boy. In the meantime, Game for Life around the outside of Raki up into 9th place there. So the McLaren up into P9, getting a couple of points for his championship troubles here. But he's already made a pit stop, but he's on the soft tyres, so he's going short here, looking to try and get the pace down while he can. But a dramatic opening few laps to this Monaco Grand Prix. I want to apologise to anybody who was watching the previous stream. We had a qualifying stream and now we've got a race stream here. Apologies to anybody who saw the title of this stream. Basically, the old stream died and then a new one booted up, and I didn't even notice it. It just booted up by itself, and it had a name, the exact details on the stream from a touring car stream on Project Cars 2 from last year, not last season, last year. Bizarre, I know. Game for Life though, as DNF from the race. Game for Life's crashed out. Is that going to be a safety car here? Did I even enable safety cars in this race? We've got double wave yellows through sector 1 and 2 here at Monaco. They do try and get it done without the need for a safety car, as it can be absolute chaos when there's a safety car here. But Game for Life out of the race. What a shame there for him, as we got Mr. Basil getting ahead of Derby Bay up into 4th place. And yeah, for the time being, no real changes other than that. Raki's got Thebo Boy all over the back of him here, coming up towards Sandoval, but holding on to that position for now then. 8 people currently watching the live stream at the moment. Guys, if you like what you see, please do drop a like, because it really does help us out an enormous amount. Let us know in the comments who you're supporting tonight. If you're a friend, family member, or otherwise associate of any of the drivers out on the track, they do let us know who you are rooting for, as Game for Life has left the session. What a shame there. A. Thompson in the pits has put a fresh set of medium tyres on by the looks of it, and a new front wing as well, so that will explain why he's come in after only doing a couple of laps on those medium tyres, hard tyres that he had on before. As we see Daisy in the pits. So Daisy on the medium tyres, what an opening stint to the race it's been. Maybe has lost the front wing, because I wouldn't imagine that you'd be pitting on medium tyres this early in the race. You'd be wanting to go long and try and maximise the stint, but Daisy in the pits nonetheless. What tyres do they put on? I think that's the mediums, another set of mediums going on there. Daisy's off and on their way once again. 30 laps left in this race. We'll need to come in again, but probably can do a one stop from here, I would imagine. Should be able to go. I'd say you should probably be able to go 20 laps on the mediums here, and then soft into the end. I reckon Daisy's good to get to the finish on one more stop there. But Polish Bubbles up into P7. We see Double Bay in the pits coming out on the hard tyres. Maybe you can go to the end on the hard tyres here. 30 laps could be possible. We'll have to wait and see. Emo Guy up into P10. Horatio into 11th. Debo Boy in the pits to put the hard tyres on. Lots of fast drivers right now towards the back of the grid, or towards the back of the order, should I say. Probably just down to the fact that that it's Monaco and front wings are going flying. So to be honest, I think it's an absolute miracle nonetheless that we've still not had a safety car here in this race. This is incredible stuff, and it's testament to the drivers out on the track here at Motive. They are doing absolutely fantastically. Hats off to every single one of you, to Big Weir, Bennett, Mr. Basil, Aldrich Avis, Joram, Daisy, Derby Bay, Polish My Balls, Raki, Emo Guy, Horatio, Clarky Boy, Thevo Boy, A. Thompson, Rednas, DJ Phil. Legends. These guys absolute legends, and Game for Life until a few moments ago. I mean, look at this. 10 laps into a race at Monaco, not a single one of them has been there, not a single one of them has crashed out. These front wings are going flying, yes, but that is to be expected around the streets of Monaco. But nonetheless, it's been a absolutely exemplary show of driving from everybody out on track right now. As we see Polish My Balls into the pits here to get a new set of boots on. Let's see what he puts on here as he comes into the box there. It's the Alfa Romeo crew ready for him. Hard tyres going on, and a new nose cone and front wing there for the Alfa Romeo. So he's off and away once again there. Another front wing change there for one of the drivers out on the track. But Big Weir currently in control of this race. He's coming through Portier for the 11th time in this race. No, in fact, no, that wasn't Big Weir. That was DJ Phil. Big Weir here, coming up the hill towards Casino Square. He's got a 12-second gap on over Bennett. Bennett's in the pits. So Bennett LCFC stopping in the box, and off and away he goes once again, putting the medium tyres on. I imagine he'll probably have to stop again before the end of the race. I can't see him going 28 laps on the medium tyres, but I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. I will be wrong again. I am usually wrong, so I don't know. Let's see what he does. But Bennett, nonetheless, off and away once again. Joram on the hard tyres up into 4th place, and continuing to pick him off as they pit in front of him. But as it stands, he'd have to do 34 laps on the hard. I suppose it's not completely out of the question when you think about it. Tyre's not too bad around here. I mean, I think the mediums last about 25 laps around here. So I don't know. Maybe you could go 34 laps on the hards. It would be a real stretch for Joram, but I wouldn't put it past him. He's not the F1 champion here at Motive for no reason. So he's currently 28 seconds off for the lead. He'll probably be not pushing too hard at this point. He'll be wanting to make sure he gets these tyres to the end. Big Weir into the pits here. Let's see what he puts on. Does he put the mediums or the hards on? Into the box he comes. The yellow mark mediums are there, ready to get on that car, and off and away he goes again. Where's he going to come out in relation to the rest of them? Mr. Basil coming through the final corner. So Big Weir is well clear. Big Weir coming out with daylight between himself and the rest of them right now. So he's now coming on the exit of Sandoval. There's Mr. Basil. No, hold on. Yes, he is ahead of him by about 3 or 4 seconds. As we see Joram there down the inside of Aldrich Avis up into 3rd place. So he's made that move there nicely as Joram. Big question here. Does Big Weir Big Wheel able to get those medium tyres to the end. Joram on the hard tyres will have pace. Has he got the durability in those hard tyres? Can he go 34 laps on one set of tyres? That's the big question. Big Wheel is on the faster but less durable compound. He's going to have to go 28 laps on his tyres. These two 11 seconds apart. I think Big Wheel's probably got the ascendancy at this point, but watch this space, it could all change very quickly. Big Wheelo's got a lead, and big shout out to this man here, Mr. Basil, driving an absolute cracker of a race, currently in P2, still yet to make his pit stop, but he'll probably, I imagine, be putting on the hard tyres at some point very soon, and that will set him up to go to the end of the race. As we see, Emo Guy's got ahead of Raki on the timing board there. He's up into 8th place. He must have made that move coming through the first sector, as I saw him move up a position on that leaderboard. So Emo Guy up into 8th place. And currently Big Wheel still out in control of this race. 6 seconds of a gap here over Mr. Basil. Mr. Basil's got 4 seconds back to Jerome at the moment, and in turn he's got just under a second here to Bennett LCFC as they're coming up down towards turn 1 here. Sanderbot onto the brakes they come. You got Daisy there running in 5th place, couple of seconds behind Bennett at the moment. There's Aldrich Avis in the pits, putting a fresh set of boots on, I would imagine. Hard tyres going on the Alpha, no, not the Alpha, sorry, the Mercedes even. What am I talking about, Annie? Shut up, you. I was about to say a rude word there, and then I stopped myself because I thought that'd be inappropriate, especially considering there are kids racing in this league. But Aldrich Avis nonetheless off and away once again, and yep, out on the track once again. Emo Guy up into 7th place, so Emo Guy there making positions here. Lap 13 of 39, 26 laps left to go here in this one, and Emo Guy starting to make positions here, but he's done 10 laps on those medium tyres. He's not going to get those to the end. I think we can say that with some degree of certainty here, as we've got double-edged yellow flags through sector 2 and 3. Is that A. Thompson that's managed to inflict those? Yes, he has. A. Thompson has got major damage to that front wing. That's just about stayed intact coming into the back, and the yellow flags are now subsided as he's now off and moving once again, but that's probably just derailed his comeback here a little bit. He's a lap down, so is Polish My Balls Red. That's A. Thompson and DJ Phil. Who knows though, I think if we get a safety car, maybe the race director might elect to let Polish My Balls and Rednass through if they're in between Big Wheel and Joram, and then just A. Thompson and DJ Phil can just sort of sit there and, you know, just chill out and, you know, just enjoy the rest of their race. A lap down on everybody else when the guys that they're fighting for position are able to go around and unlock themselves. A. Thompson has put the wet tyres on. A. Thompson has put the wet tyres on in the pit stops. Look at that, left hand side of the screen. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. As he's now out on the track again, those tyres are going to be scorching. They are going to be literally like, they're going to be like roast potatoes at the end of this. Like, look at that. Oh, it's undrivable. Oh my god, that is undrivable there. It's like an ice rink there for that Alpine. A. Thompson's going to really struggle here on this outlap, and his race has just gone. As if it couldn't get much worse, it has now got just that little bit worse here. Lap 14 of 39. We're watching the race. The reigning champion Joram currently in P2. At this stage in the race, he'd be gaining points on his championship rivals. Obviously, Aldrich Avist, Derby Bay all behind him on the track, but Big Wheel out in front doing the business here on his second appearance, I believe, on the channel, or maybe third, I don't know. Yeah, A. Thompson's out of the race. A. Thompson's DNF'd, he's retired. Did he crash into the wall, or did he throw in the towel? We're not 100% sure at this particular moment in time. I imagine we'll find out in a moment, as to no safety car, so I would imagine that he retired the car rather than crashed it into the wall. But WA into 5th place. That's because Daisy's in the pits, so he's gained a position there. Gap between Big Wheel and Joe, I'm staying at around 11 seconds. I would have thought at this stage that Big Wheel would have the pace on Joram as he's on fresh mediums, but as we get down towards the closing sort of laps, maybe sort of like lap, I'd say probably from lap 30 onwards, I think that's when we'll see the momentum start to sort of even out a little bit as the mediums get towards the end of their tyre life, as the hards still kind of in their window. Even though Joram put his hards on 7 laps earlier, they can go comfortably around 10 laps longer. So I reckon in the closing stages of the race, the momentum shift may swing slightly back towards Joram. I reckon it's going to be tight. Look, I'm just saying that I don't think that Joram is going to overhaul 11 seconds, but anything can happen. All it takes is a little mistake from Big Weir, and suddenly that gap's down at maybe 5 seconds or so, and it's fine margins like this that could make the difference in a race. But at this stage in the race, I think Big Weir's definitely got the momentum. I just think that it's still on the table at this point. But Joram's pulled out a second and a half to this man here, Bennett LCFC, running on the medium tyres. Been a good drive so far from Bennett, looking good for a podium, as we can see. Emo guys into the pits at the end of lap 15. That promotes Aldrich Avist up into 6th place for the time being. But also we see Polish My Balls coming out of the pits in a moment there, back out onto the track. It's got a fresh set of red marked soft tyres on. And Emo Guy, the only other driver to have the soft on at this point. So a few drivers going for that 2-stop strategy there, putting the soft on, and Emo Guy out on the track and on his way once again here. But just looking at the timing board here, Bennett's closed the gap here to Joram. The gap's less than a second here between these two. Bennett looking good on these medium tyres, matching the pace actually of the leader Big Weir at this point. So the two-time champion of the XLOG League on a Wednesday and a Sunday, looking like he's bringing this fight here to Joram. Obviously Bennett took his first championship in the XLOG League in the Red Bull this season at Motive, driving in the Mercedes. Looking down the inside, oh my goodness me, that was ambitious there from Bennett. And is he being held up by Joram at this point? I think he might even be being held up by Joram. So Bennett's really looking racy here in Joram's mirrors, looking for a way around him at the moment, but still can't seem to find that gap. But wow, I mean, is Joram holding him up here? It looks like he might be. I suppose it's not too much of a surprise, seeing as Bennett's on still reasonably fresh medium tyres. Joram's gone a fair old way on these hards, but they won't really be scratching the surface too much just yet. Those hards can go 30 laps comfortably here around Monaco, possibly a little bit more, but you don't really want to be pushing your luck. Because at some point you've really got to say, look, I've had the rub of the green, I've had the luck, now I just need to be a bit more careful, cautious, and stop riding my luck. But currently anyway, just over a second of a gap here between Joram and Bennett LCFC at the moment. Double below flags through sector 1. Not sure exactly what those are in aid of at this particular moment in time. We see Raki there running in 8th place, just ahead of Emo Guy at this point, coming down towards the middle part of the lap. Keep forgetting that right-hander's name. It will come back to me at some point, probably after the race. Oh no! Oh, Emo Guy just clouts the back of Raki there. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage on the front of that Alpha Tauri, but that's going to have definitely debilitated him a little bit. As we've got double yellow through sector 2, I think that's probably for the debris in the Lowe's hairpin there. But Emo Guy absolutely walloping the back there of Raki, and that will have just set him back ever so slightly there. In the meantime, Joram and Bennett even have closed the gap to the leader Big Weir ever so slightly here. The gap 10 seconds. Also, one thing I'm noticing on the timing board is that Clarky Boy's starting to reel in Emo Guy and Horatio here. So Clarky Boy driving a good race at the moment here in P11 in this race. Oh no, Emo Guy's in the wall. Emo Guy's gone into the barriers there, coming through Raskas. That's allowed Clarky Boy up into the final points paying position there. Horatio up into 8th ahead. Clarky Boy following him through because Raki's in the pits, as we see Emo Guy is... Oh, Emo Guy's in the wall. Emo Guy has tagged the barriers there on the right hand side as he was coming through the gap between Raskas and Anthony Noakes, and that has been an absolute nightmare there for Ian. He's into the pits there, but he's going to lose a lot of time there as Raki's already down the end of the pits and will be coming out in a moment's time. Big Weir, the race leader's in, so that promotes Joram up into the lead of the race. So Big Weir not going to the end on his medium tyres, and Joram now with P1 here in this race. Big Weir will have a pace advantage over the guys in front of him. Joram on now slightly worn out hard tyres. Big Weir will have a big advantage in terms of lap times at this point. What does Joram do here? Does he cover him off? Does he long it out a little bit? Does he wait until maybe lap 27, 28 and then put a set of softs on and absolutely smash it for the final few laps of the race and try and reel them in? It's all up in the air at the moment. Does Joram risk it for a biscuit? Does he try and stay out until the end of the race on these hard tyres? We know how difficult it is to overtake around Monaco. Does he stick it out and just keep going on these worn out hard tyres all the way to the end and try and do 34 laps on them and just basically lead a train of cars home? at this point, I wouldn't bet against him doing that. Joram's a gutsy customer in terms of this F1 league. He's the reigning champion, not for no reason either. He's currently got the lead of the race. He's currently keeping that gap at just over a second here to Bennett LCFC. These two, the lead pair at the moment in this race. Lap 20 of 39, half distance here in the Monaco Grand Prix here at Motive. As we can see, Big Weir up into third place ahead of Mr. Basil. Routine stuff there on different strategies there. Mr. Basil's done a fair old way on this on those medium tyres in this race. Big Weir has just put those mediums on, so that was routine there for Big Weir, and Mr. Basil didn't look like he fought it too hard there as Big Weir came through up into third place. He's now putting a lap there on the Red Bull of Raki just in front of him. Derby Bay running in 5th place ahead of Aldrich Avis, 3 seconds behind him in 6th place. The top two in the championship at the moment, 6 points apart. Currently Derby Bay ahead of Aldrich Avis in this race. Will gain 2 points on him, but the gap would still be 4 points at the top of the leaderboard. But as it stands in this race, if they were to finish the race right now, it would be a new championship leader in the shape of Joram. Joram comes into this 15 points behind Aldrich Avis, so if the race were to end right now, Joram would come away from Monaco 2 points in the lead of the championship. Aldrich Avis would be in second, and Derby Bay would be 4 points behind Aldrich Avis in third, so it'd be incredibly close in the championship if the race were to end at this moment in time. But we are nowhere near the end of this race, and it's all good saying what if, what could have been. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, does it? It's what is rather than what could have been. But Aldrich Avis there, 2 seconds currently behind Derby Bay, is there on lap 21 here of 39. Looking up the front, Joram and Bennett currently separated by 1.2 seconds coming up through Casino here for the 21st time in this race. Big Weir running in third place, having put those fresh medium tyres on, will have the pace advantage over the two up ahead of him. I reckon Joram's going to probably come in on lap 27 or 28, put a set of softs on, and absolutely go hell for leather at the end of this race. Although there's also the possibility that he will try and go to the end on these medium tyres. I don't know what he's going to do at this point. It's difficult to say, it's difficult to predict. Ultimately, the only way that we're going to find out is by waiting and watching. Scooter Paul says, evening all, have I missed any big action? You missed Game for Life, A. Thompson crashing out, Polish Metals as well. A. Thompson put the wet tyres on when he came into the box. Aside from that, I mean, yeah, it's been a few thrills and spills. We've seen a few drivers dropping it as per usually here at Monaco. You always see a few biting the dust. But it's been an interesting battle at the front. Big Weir was leading the race up until a few moments ago. He's technically the net leader of this race because he's made 2 stops compared to Joram and Bennett's 1 stops. However, we don't know if Joram's going to try and go to the end. Bennett also could maybe stretch these mediums to the end. He'd have to go 28 laps on them, but you can go quite a long way on the medium tyres here at Monaco. So Bennett might be able to get those to the end. He's going to have to be taking it pretty easy on them at this point though. If he is going to get them that far, it would be a real stretch here for Bennett LCFC if he were able to make it happen. But Joram on the hard tyres would have to go 34 laps on his hard, so he's got even more of a task on his hands really. So Big Weir technically the net race leader, but obviously track position is key at Monaco, so even if he closes up onto the back of Joram, he could be 1-2 seconds a lap quicker. You know, he's still not might necessarily be able to get ahead of them, so it's all to play for here. Let's just say that Emo Guy out of the session here. He's crashed. Oh no, he's not crashed, he's retired. Or did he disconnect? I know that Emo Guy races on 4G, so if he forgot to plug his phone in before the start of the race and its batteries died midway through, then that will obviously disconnect him from the race. I've seen this before. It did happen at in an ACC race in the GT4s at Zandvoort a few seasons ago actually. It was in the first season of the GT4s on ACC here at Motive. He was in a battle for the lead with none other than Javier Ranz, and Emo Guy's phone battery died literally midway through the race, and that was it. His chances of taking a win up in smoke. All of that hard work down the toilet, but nonetheless, currently Big Weir 12 seconds off for the lead here to Joram. Currently the gap between Joram and Bennett 1.3 seconds, so it's reasonably close here between these two at this point. Lap 23 of 39, still a fair way to go. Blue flags being waved there. That looks like it's for Raki there just in front of them. No, it's not. That's a massive lie. That's actually Joram, the race leader. What am I talking about, Andy? Get it sorted out, come on, get with it. But right now the gap between the two at the front currently just under 2 seconds, as we see there Bennett putting a lap on the Ferrari of Clarky Boy. So Clarky Boy there being ghosted through there at that particular point. But gap between Joram and Bennett just over 2 seconds there, as we're now coming kind of towards the back end of this race now. We're well over halfway through this race, and Joram has, over these last couple of laps, has started to eke out that gap. Is Bennett looking after those tyres? Is he going to try and get to the end of the race on these medium tyres? If he is, it would be no mean feat. I'd say that Joram's probably in a slightly more comfortable position on those hard tyres, because I reckon, for me anyway, I reckon you could probably do 30 laps comfortably on the hard tyres, probably 20 laps comfortably on the mediums. If you think about it, Bennett's got to do, what, he's got to do 28 laps by the time we get to the end of the race. So he's going 8 laps past his threshold, whereas Joram, for me, is probably only going about 4 laps past his threshold. So for me, I think that Bennett's in a much more precarious position than Joram is, even though Joram's technically going longer. As we see, DJ Phil's out of the race. DJ Phil has DNF'd here on lap 24, so he will take no further part in this race. There is a lot of advantage being taken coming through that chicane there. Everybody's cutting the first part of that chicane. I am really, really sorry for messing up on the corner cutting stringency, guys. I aim to be better in future. I am so sorry. I'm going to change my settings after this. Somebody remind me after the race, and I will actually go onto my setting and I will change it at the end of the race. What can I say? I try to do better. I really do. We see Zebra Boy up into 8th place nonetheless, ahead of Horatio at this particular point in time. We see Daisy's got a time penalty. I don't know how he's managed to get that, considering that it's basically impossible to get a penalty under these settings. He must have been straight lining chicanes after corner after corner. I don't know. Mr. Basil though into the pits here at the end of lap 24. Gap at the front between Joram and Bennett, currently 3.5 seconds here. So this looking like it's pretty much comfortable in the hands of Joram at this point, but this could all change. We never know what might happen over the course of this one. You can see here Mr. Basil into the pits here at the end of lap 24, and he's coming out of the pits now. Off and away he goes once again. There he is, coming into Sandoval here for the 25th time in his race. And Joram and Bennett coming out of the last corner here, about to complete lap 25. 14 laps left to go here in this race. Joram has done 21 laps on those hard tyres. He'll have to do 34 by the time we get to the end of this race. What a job the reigning champ has done over the course of tonight. He's keeping that gap to Bennett, and Big Weir's not really closing in anymore either. He was in the first couple of laps on those medium tyres. That gap's now kind of staying at around the same. So Joram getting the performance out of these tyres despite having gone a fair old time on those tyres. He's still going, he's still pushing them. Big Weir there running in 3rd place. He's 11 seconds off for the lead. He's 7 seconds behind Bennett LCFC, but doesn't seem to be making too much of an impression at the moment. So as long as Joram's tyres don't go off the cliff, he should be alright here. And you've got to remember that it's not just about catching up. Overtaking is the name of the game here. If you're behind, obviously, seeing as you have to overtake someone to be ahead of them. But at the moment, obviously, it's Joram looking in the box seat here as we're 2/3 of the way into this race. Bennett seems to have fallen off a little bit off him over the last few laps. Is Bennett just looking after those tyres? Is he trying to maybe just manage the grading in this phase of the race so that he can then push in the final part of the race? He's obviously done 15 laps on those. He's going to have to do 28 laps by the time we get to the end of the race, and that would be very impressive on the medium tyres. I think it's just about possible, but he's got to be very kind to those tyres, that is for sure. He's going to need to be very, very cautious on those yellow mark medium tyres. Lap 27 of 39 here for the Monaco Grand Prix here at Motive on the PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here on a Friday night. Double wave yellow flags through Sector 3, not 100% what those are about, but we see Clarky Boys up into P10, so he's got to hit himself ahead of Rednas there. Rednas is just limping a little bit there, so I don't know what happened there to him. Just saw on the time board Clarky Boy got ahead of him. I thought Rednas was coming to the pits, but he hadn't. He's still out there at the moment, but lost a bit of time there to Clarky Boy nonetheless. Joram though out in front, 5.5 seconds now, the gap over Bennett, and Big Weir's reeling that gap down, not just to Bennett, he's reeling on the race leader as well. 9 seconds between Joram and Big Weir. So are Joram's tyres now starting to just feel the pace a little bit, or was it a mistake? Because I'm just watching the timing board now, it's not really coming down anymore, so Joram maybe made a mistake which dropped him a chunk of time at once, but now it's not really coming down so much. So I think he's kind of alright at the moment, but he just needs to keep disciplined, keep his head together, as the gap's now, well, it's coming down a little bit more over the course of this lap actually. So Big Weird does seem to have the momentum here on these medium tyres, but anything can happen here. Also, I want to say a big thank you to YouTube for keeping this stream together. The original stream that we had for the qualifying managed to end by itself before the end of the session, and then for some reason we had another stream load up magically that I didn't even press anything. This, like the original stream ended, this one started, and it had a new name, a new title, a new description. It had basically the same settings as a touring car stream from a year ago. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody hacked into our YouTube or what's going on here, but basically a new stream started by itself. So guys, if I just suddenly disappear off the radar or just disappear, you know, into thin air, you know what happened, all right? You know what happened, all right? It was MI5. But anyway, we got to joking, obviously. Mr. Basil in the pits anyway, and Thebo Boy up into, oh god, the stream's going to be lagging all over the place now. Watch. Anyway, Mr. Basil and Horatio both in the pits here at the end of lap 28. 11 laps left to go here in this one. Daisy Bow, you watch. The stream is going to be all over the gaff in a minute. You watch. Oh god. Horatio anyway coming to the end of the pits at the moment. We see there Daisy Bow, the only driver to pick up a time penalty over the course of this race, which is a minor miracle really when you consider the advantages that have been taken, especially to the Nouvelle chicane, which for those who are not particularly au fait with the Monaco circuit is the chicane after the tunnel. So yeah, it's yeah, I mean, it's my fault. I put the corner cutting stringency on regular. I wanted to be leading. I wanted to go easy on them tonight. I know I'm joking. I forgot to put it on strict. Actually, that's a massive lie. But yeah, no, I completely forgot. I was supposed to be on strict, but I just, I don't know. I have big plans, and then I almost always never follow through with these evil schemes that I concoct, as you probably realise now after far too much effort. But Bennett currently in second place, 6 seconds behind Joram at this point. Big Wheel running in third place, 12 seconds off for the race leader at this particular point in time. We see Thebo Boy in the pits, currently just has got some fresh off tyres on, and off and away he goes now. Daisy currently up into P7 there, and Derby Bay's into the pits. So Derby Bay coming in, he's going to be stopping in his box there. The Williams team out ready to receive him. I imagine he'll be putting the soft tyres on. He's got a bit of a gap back to Aldrich. In fact, no, Aldrich, no, he's just about to come out to the start finish straight now, so Aldrich Abbas walking ahead of him. Where's Mr. Basil? Mr. Basil's, oh, he's halfway around the lap, he's nowhere near him. What's happening with the timing board? Is this a glitch? I told you, didn't I say? No, hold on, no, that is real, that's not a glitch, it's real, that's real, it is real, I think. Hold on, let me just rewind the stream and double check. Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's legit, yeah. That is legit. Okay, we're all good. So, anyway, Joram leading this race, but looks like Bennett's now got Big Weir hot in his mirrors coming down towards Sandoval. He's all over the back of him, looking to the inside and towards Sandoval. Oh, as we see him running over the curve a little bit onto the tarmac ever so slightly. Bennett was pushing Big Weir a little bit as he was trying to cover that inside line. Big Weir looking like he's got the pace here over Bennett. He's on 8 lap fresher medium tyres, both of them on the same tyres, but Big Weir's got a lot more mileage left in his. He's looking down the inside, coming down in towards this right-handed braking zone. Oh, I almost remembered the name and then it went from me again. Mastonay, that's what it's called. I didn't even need to look on Google. I just remembered it. It just came to me. Do you know what? I thought to myself, I just remembered a Motive Highlights video from a few seasons ago, Clio Cup race that we had on Project Cars 2, and I just remember I just remember our commentator from that night, Matahimovic, I just remember him saying, Morgan's got such a run up towards Massenet, and then it came to me. I just remember that moment in my head. It just played back in my head, just like literally like it was a tape. And I just remember that moment where he mentions about how he had a run up towards Massenet, and it was that corner. So it's Massenet, that's what it's called. Right, we're getting our marbles back here. Anyway, lap 31, coming towards the end of lap 30 for these guys. They're about to start lap 31. The race leader, Joram, is actually on lap 32, so we've got 8 laps left to go here in this race. Bennett has got a 10-second... Oh no! Oh, Bennett's out of the race! Big crash between Big Rear and Bennett coming into Sandoval. Bennett is out of the race here. Double wave yellow flags through sector 1. Oh no! Bennett LCSC crashes out after a collision there with Big Rear coming into turn 1. And I think because of the safety car settings, we're not going to have a safety car, but Bennett's car stricken on their side of the road. Oh no, no, no. I wonder if we're going to have a stewards inquiry after that. Potentially Bennett could be putting one in after that collision there coming in towards the first corner. But nonetheless, Big Weir continuing on his way. Oldrich up into 3rd place there, onto the final podium spot. We see WA into 4th place at the moment. Oh no. What a shame there for Bennett LCFC. The 2-time champion of the XL OG League on a Wednesday and Sunday night here on the Motive channel has crashed out there. He'd done 21 laps on those medium tyres. I think he was going to try and go to the end on those tyres, but that is obviously a massive, massive shame there for Bennett. Hopefully he'll be in the comments telling us whether that was his fault or not. We've got Loic Turin saying, Ole Jouy. I mean, I don't know who Zhu is, but nonetheless, we move on anyway. We've got WA currently running in 4th place at the moment. He's just putting a lap here on an Alpine. That would appear to be Rednas there, as we also see Daisy getting ahead of Bennett. That's because Bennett's crashed out of the race. But currently now it's Joram and Big Weir 10 seconds apart here with 6 laps left to go. Joram's been on these hard tyres for a fair old time now. He's been on those for 28 laps, as we see double yellow flags through sector 3. Now what are those for? What atrocity has occurred through that final sector? At the moment we're not really getting any kind of clues as to what that could be for. Obviously whoever's put it out probably knows what they've done, but aside from that I don't think anybody really knows at this point what's occurred there. But we see Joram anyway going on to lap 34. 6 laps left to go here for the Monaco Grand Prix here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 or 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. As we can see also WA's closing the gap to Oldrich now. Look at this, only just over a second between these two. WA recently put these soft tyres on. He can absolutely wring the neck of that Williams car and try and get himself up onto the podium spots if he can. Oh, pardon me. But nonetheless, it's Joram out the front, currently doing the business, currently doing what he has to do here in this race. He's coming down towards the Nouvelle chicane at the moment, looking like he's in cruise control here in this race, doing everything right so far. Is Joram the reigning champion? He's going to be feeling the pace a little bit on these hard tyres. They've done a fair amount of miles in this race. He's coming through the swimming pool chicane right now. He's got still the gap staying around the same here to Big Weir. And A. Thompson has left the session. Unsurprising considering he crashed out of the race about 25 laps ago. Also guys, I want to say a big thank you to everybody watching right now. If you haven't already, please do drop a like on the video, as it really does help us out an enormous amount. If you want to get involved in the action, please go to www.motiveracing.com and join the Discord server. You can get yourselves involved in some of the action here. Free to join, free to play. It's a great little community here at Motive, running races on the F1 game and ACC as well. As you see, double yellow flags through sector 2. Oh, I wonder what those are for. Oh, it's Big Weir. Oh no, Big Weir, Big Weir. Big Weir's had a big moment there, coming through Portier. and he's now 17 seconds adrift here of Joram. Oh no. Big Wheel was in contention for a win earlier on. He was looking like he was in cruise control in the early stages. Joram played a blinder with the strategy, put the hard tyres on. He's managed to go 31 laps on these tyres so far. He's got 4 laps left to go. He just needs to hope and pray he doesn't get a puncture in these last couple of laps. But what a drive it's been from this man here tonight. He just needs to nurse these round as Big Wheel is into the pits for another set of soft tyres. And off and away he goes once again. So the gap now up by a considerable amount here, and I think Joram's going to be able to see this one out. Big Wheel's clear away ahead of Aldrich Avest and Derby Bay, so those two in 3rd and 4th places. Joram will still gain points on Aldrich Avest, but with Aldrich now in 3rd place. Oh, Derby Bay's down the inside of Aldrich Avest. Oh, he goes deep though into the corner, and Aldrich gets that straight back there. Did Derby Bay get a bit of damage there to his front wing? I'm not sure. These two are the top 2 in the championship, running 40 odd seconds off of the lead here in 3rd and 4th places. Not been the night for either of them. But Aldrich there back up into 3rd place, and Derby almost getting that done, but going a little bit trigger happy there on the brakes. Mercy, Nicky, thank you. Obviously a tribute there to Nicky Lauda, I think. Must be. Anyway, I mean, he did, this was 2 years before that, but it was the 2019 Monaco Grand Prix was the one where first one after Nicky Lauda died. That was the one that where they were all wearing the caps, is in tribute to him. Hamilton was wearing the for Nicky cap, I remember, but that was 2019. But I think that's still for Nicky Lauda, that so I don't actually know that to be 100% certain. But at the moment anyway, it's currently Joram leading this race by almost 40 seconds over Big Wheel. Big Wheel's closing the gap at this stage. He would be. He's got fresh soft tyres on compared to Joram, who's done 30 laps on the hard tyres. I tell you what, if Michael Massey were the race director right now, he'd say, you know what, screw it, let's have a safety car and let's stop Joram from pitting, and let's get Big Wheel right up on the back of him for the final lap, so that he can then have a free crack at him, basically tying Joram's hands behind his back and forcing him to fight with well, not even one hand. Obviously if his hands tied behind his back he'd have no hands, but yeah, pretty much that. If Michael Massey was the race director right now, that would probably be what would happen, being a man of the bear baiting mentality. Jokes. Big Weirdo fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 10.7. The gap between Aldrich Avest and Derby Bay, 2 seconds here as they're coming in towards Nancy Nose, and we see Derby Bay into the pits. So Derby Bay slowing it down to the pit lane speed limit, and Clarky Boy's out of the race. Oh no, Clarky Boy's crashed out here with just 2 laps left to go. He was in a points paying position. He was on course for 2 championship points. He's now out of this one. Oh no, what a shame. Clarky Boy out of the race. He'd done really well to get this far into the race, but unfortunately he will only score, well, he'll score no points there, because Raki will be moving up into P9, Imagai into P10. There is Clarky Boy's car parked up on the runoff there, coming through the Nouvelle chicane, and that is incredibly unfortunate there for him. As Joram, the race leader's on the final lap of the race, he's got 36 seconds here over Big Weir. Only 3 cars on the lead lap, Joram, Big Weir and Aldrich Avest. But no one really in the same league as Joram tonight. He's done 35 laps on these hard tyres. Absolutely unbelievable stuff here. Under the tunnel he comes, half a lap of this Monaco street circuit here. Circuit de Monaco here in Monte Carlo, based on the Riviera just south of France. The beautiful Monaco harbour there, the yachts, the most famous of celebrities in attendance. No, I'm sure not on a game, but here comes Joram anyway through the swimming pool and in towards Raskas for the final time. What a drive it's been for the reigning champion here. He's gone 35 laps on these tyres, out of Anthony Noakes here and up towards the start finish line. It's going to be the victory here for Joram. It's going to be another win. He's going to close the gap in the championship to Aldrich Avis. The gap down to 5 points between the two of them. Joram taking an emphatic victory here on the streets of Monaco. Could this be an ignition towards another charge towards the championship here? A slow start to the season. He's getting there. He's finding his feet here. Joram with a superb performance here tonight. Big Weir coming through the swimming pool chicane for the final time. He's got a couple of corners left to go. Raskas, here he comes. Negotiates that beautifully. And now in towards Anthony Noakes. And onto the power for the final time here in this race. Up towards the line. Big Weir takes P2 here in this race. And I assume he probably got the fastest lap as well. I'm going to make an ass out of you and me, and I assume that is what he's got there. But P2 there for Big Weir nonetheless. Aldrich Avis, the championship leader, comes over to take P3. The gap in the championship was 15 points between Aldrich Avis and Joram, so it'll now be 5 points between those two. Aldrich Avis did have a 4-point lead over Derby Bay in the championship coming into this one. That will now be 7 points, so it will be Aldrich Avis leading the championship by 5 points over Joram in second, and Derby Bay will be a further 2 points behind them. Oh, Derby Bay next to fastest lap, so he'll be only 6 points behind Aldrich Avis in the championship. 6 points will be covering the top 3 in the championship standings tonight. After that, Derby Bay nicks the fastest lap there, right at their death, and that is absolutely fantastic there for him. So gutting there for Big Weir, losing out on the fastest lap. But Joram taking a dominant win here tonight. What can you say about the reigning champion? He was oozing class out there this evening. He absolutely smashed it, did not put a foot wrong. Congratulations here to Joram in the Red Bull. Well done. What a drive there from him as they spray the champagne on the podium. That is that for the race, and here is the classification just about to pop on the screen in a few moments time. Here it is, just loading up. Here we go, please wait, just coming up, there we go. Joram takes the win ahead of Big Weir. Just goes to show how far Joram went on those tyres. His fastest lap was 2 seconds off of the ultimate pace, but ultimately the lack of extra pit stops and just consistency and the fact that he just was fantastic tonight ultimately took him the win. Big Weir takes second ahead of Aldrich Avis, completing the podium. Big thank you to everybody who joined us live on the stream here tonight on the Motive Racing channel. If you enjoy it and if you like what you see, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and pardon me, that was a hiccup. We will see you in the next one. Join us next week on the F1 game. We will be live once again as per usual. That was another one. We'll be live next week at Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But from all of us, we thank you very much. We will see you very soon. Tonight ultimately took him the win. Big Weir takes second ahead of Aldrich Avis, completing the podium. Big thank you to everybody who joined us live on the stream here tonight on the Motive Racing channel. If you enjoy it and if you like what you see, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and pardon me, that was a hiccup. We will see you in the next one. Join us next week on the F1 game. We will be live once again as per usual. That was another one. We'll be live next week at Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But from all of us, we thank you very much. We will see you very soon.